So we have our fabulous cast and producer here from the brand new show in the NCIS universe. So if you could introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about the show.
My name is Michelle Weatherly, and I play very special agent Anthony Donoso. And what's your name again?
Cote.
Oh, you got a cheer for
Pablo.
the next room.
Oh my God. And I play ZIVA David.
And who's that handsome devil to your left?
Jean.
Jean. I am John McNamara. I'm the showrunner.
Jean-Marc.
And I have something special to show you that was made in Budapest by some beautiful guys who are fans of the show. And just go because this is a show about fans, for the fans, and really comes from that energy.
Nicely
played, Michael.
Oh, wow. Look at this. Oh, my
Yes.
gosh. Tony and Ziva. Okay, so tell us about these.
Bespoke. Well, we both got a pair.
Yes.
Where are yours?
That one too.
And they're... My daughter said it's the only cool thing I've ever worn.
And funny enough, my husband thinks it's funny when I wear them, and he gets slightly uncomfortable. He's like, please don't wear them. I'm like, I love them. It's kind of cheeky. And he's like, but anyway.
What a wonderful surprise. Wait, so who made these for you? Was it?
These, if you go, I posted on my Instagram these superstars in Hungary, in Budapest, who make this kind of thing. You can look them up. I don't know. Go. It's Ask ChatGPT. I don't know. What do people do?
Well, those could have come in handy when you're shooting this show, right?
Yes, because we're on the run.
Yes.
Yes, we are moving. It's nothing but action. Who wrote this thing? I tell you,
Someone who spent a lot of time sitting in a trailer going, "Good job, guys."
right? How could we get Weatherly to lose weight? Tony runs down the street. Tony runs up the stairs. Tony, look at that guy. Was in good shape.
So John, tell us about kind of how this came to be, and what kind of story are we telling here?
It came to be because Michael would not stop bugging me. We both have a deep love of espionage, movies, books, TV, and we'd kind of like we've been friends for 31 years. We've been friends. And there's always been talk between seasons, or when we're both free, of like, let's do a thing in Europe, would that be cool, like a Hitchcock thing, and then we wouldn't get busy, and yeah. And all of a sudden Michael came to me and said, what do you think of like a Tony and Ziva, spin-off in Europe? And I immediately said yes. I didn't even think about it. I just said yes. We got to get Cote. So, yeah, that was really, to me, that was the biggest hurdle, because I didn't know her, and she had no reason to trust me, except Michael's like, yeah, trust him. But we had a bunch of lunches at my house, and then we had a bunch of Zooms, because Michael was in New York, and it kind of just sort of started to come together. I'll give you one example of sort of how intuitive the process was. I had a vague idea of wanting to do something along the lines of North by Northwest. Innocent couple on the run. Both the police and the villains are after us. And I was talking to Cote and Michael on a Zoom, and Cote said, I think I know what the first scene is.
Ah.
And I said, okay. And this isn't a trailer, so I'm not giving anything away, I don't think. She said, Michael's in a tux, I'm in a wedding gown, we're at a beautiful church in Europe. He says, you look gorgeous. And I say, let's just get this over with, and I walk away.
So Cote, where did this idea come from to start it that way?
I still don't know where this idea came from.
All I knew was that I had this sort of visual thing. I'm not sure if it was a dream, or maybe I was daydreaming, or maybe it was, who knows. But it was a church, and I remember collecting all of these pictures of beautiful sort of locations. And I remember thinking it was on a cliff overlooking the water, and it was just this glorious kind of a thing. And I'm sort of, there's a wedding dress, Michael comes in a tux, we're sort of running from bad guys, but the audience is going to find us sort of mid-mystery, like two people meet, they're dressed, are they getting married, are they not, what's going on, are they together, are they not? It's very evident that somehow something's off because they're not being, And anyway, I sort of gave him, John, this thing.
Well,
image, this thing. And then he sort of ran with it and he did his thing, which is great.
well, Cody giveth and Cody taketh away. Because on the Zoom, I said, that is so great. Why is that happening? She goes, I don't know, Sherry. You figure it out.
Writer.
Yeah, okay, but you did figure it out, and you figured it out very well.
It was funny because I have a kind of a personal motto, which is if you kick the can down the road long enough, the can goes away. The reason for the fake wedding was the can that kept kicking right into the writer's room well into episode 4. Like we could not figure it out. It took months. But very good.
But it
writers.
came together.
Came
together.
together,
It did.
right?
It did.
It came together beautifully. So, Michael, talk about that first scene. Where's Tony's head in that moment
In the church.
when he runs in and then
When
he
he-
grabs the tux?
Oh.
Yes. Well, so this is a story John alluded to those Zoom calls, and Cody and I actually started talking about this as a concept like over a decade ago.
Yes.
For Tony and Ziva to explore their story, because when we were together on NCIS and then after, we always ran into fans all around the world that would ask, what's happening with them? Like, what did they, and then after it was revealed.
Yeah.
So it really, we wanted to answer a lot of those questions,
Yeah.
and we wanted to address that. But what we found, the nexus of all of it, was trust. And what is this a story about? And John was really great at sort of getting us to figure out where we stood about trust. So to answer your question, for me, I think she is stunning. He has all these feelings for her, but can he trust those senses? Can he trust that moment to be? And then it turns out, can the audience trust that moment? And as we travel down the rabbit holes of our show, for the audience, it's about trust. So we're sharing in that.
To be fair, I have to make a confession. So you said, how did this come about? And it's true, we talked about it for a decade. But I worked with Michael for almost a decade when you really do the math. And I used to always look forward to working with him. And it was like my favorite thing because you never knew what was going to happen. And it was sort of the magic, right, that unfolded. Michael and I never talk about scenes. We never discuss things before we do them. We just kind of run. It's sort of like when kids get together, you have no idea what they're going to do. You just kind of allow them to
Yeah, you
play.
don't
And
rehearse what you're going to do in the
and
sandbox.
you just know that they play well. We play well, and we enjoy it and we laugh and no, there's a lot of that between us. But so when we were sort of manifesting this, all we knew is that we sort of wanted to play again. We just wanted these characters to sort of have a chance to play again. And then the challenge really came in. Life happened, lots of time happened, and then we had to fill the story with, well, what happened to these characters and what's happened to them and what's informing all of these new choices they're making and where do we find them? And that's where the magic of John comes in. And, so that's been really fun for us too, to discover like where these characters are now and our child, the discovery of the relationship, dealing with this teenager who is very much like us. There's a lot of us in her.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a fun thing. All of it, of course, with a little sprinkle of, espionage and running around through Europe and, complicated things that just get more and more complicated as they go.
And we introduced this incredible cast
Yes.
that you will get to fall in love with. There are, just wait
They're
to
so
meet.
much fun.
Just wait to meet this new group of people in the NCIS world.
I have a funny story. We were doing, well, I have many funny stories, but there was an exposition scene, and one of the actresses there, Anita, she was like, oh, God, sort of going through lines, and
And she plays.
Claudette.
Claudette, and she was very sort of like, how do you guys do this? And she was, and I was like, oh no, we just have fun. And she was like, what? And I said, no, we just have fun with it. And she goes, like, how? I don't understand what you're talking about. And I said, oh, you're not. And she's like, well, it's not. What? we did the scene over and over again. And at one point, I think Michael and I started dying laughing. We started like
You were on that
laughing about
airplane.
something.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And it was like we couldn't
Yes.
get through the scene because we would get to and that
It's
we
very
just
frustrating for the directors.
and then we would just start dying laughing. And at one point, Amita couldn't stop laughing, and it took all of the nerves away. And then she was able to sort of just to get into that scene. And at the end of that scene, she goes, "Oh, I get it. You guys have fun." And I said, "Oh, it's all about that."
That's if there is a secret sauce, right? And so exposition can be really hard. Helen Mirren did that master class
Yes.
thing, and she talks about when she was doing a show that. Did you work on that show? That was Prime Suspect on ABC, or did
I worked on the American spinoff.
the American spin-off?
Yeah.
But so
I worked with Helen on another project.
Helen Mirren. That's right. Hi. So
She's a really good actor, by the way.
I know I've heard about her.
She's terrific.
But Paramount Plus likes her. So, but she talked about how difficult exposition is, and exposition is when you tell basically the plot of a thing,
It's like a human fax machine, basically.
Yeah.
and you're just
have to
spitting out the
spew out
deets,
a lot of,
deets, and
Technical
But it's
information.
so fun to write.
so when you have to
It's
say,
so much fun to act.
so when you have to say all that stuff, generally actors dread it. But if you turn it upside
Right.
down and you turn it into fun, and that sometimes comes like when you mess with each other a little bit.
You have to, because if not, it's like
So if somebody is tripping over the name of, a suspect like Mr. Sivapithis Sandru or something, then
and you all start sort of looking at each other because you know the name is coming, and you all know you're all in it, right? And you're just waiting for the person to say the name.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it becomes like no one knows if it's tension or what's going on, but something happens. The energy in the room shifts,
right. And if like
something.
if there were 22 days until the thing, but the person says there were 22 days until and it's like, are you sure? And you just mess with somebody giving the exposition. It makes the exposition seem like a character development, and that is, you can overthink it.
Yeah. And by the way, we're over explaining.
But just having fun.